Cool temperatures and wind greeted the UCI Women's World Tour peloton in the historic Belgian city of Ypres for the fifth race of the season, Gent Wevelgem. In the shadow of the famous Men in Gate Memorial to the dead of World War I and the beautiful Cloth Hall, the riders assembled to take on the 137-kilometre race to Wevelgem.
Well, I think already when we hit on the Barneberg and then we do the lap again with the flux trees, I think that's already a really, really hard point of the race. And of course, I think already after the start there's going to be so much wind that maybe there's a national on already.
Positioning is key always in Flanders, no matter if it's windy or not, but especially if it's windy you want to be in that kind of top 20, top 10 even is important, often coming into corners and the wind will change direction, and then also going into those cobble sections someone can drop a wheel and sometimes it doesn't matter how strong you are, you just can't make it back to that front group, so you have to be really focused for the whole day.
The cobbles of Grootmarkt weren't the only ones the bunch would tackle, as they were soon on the punishing pavé slopes of the Kemmelberg, one of 3 climbs to the south of Ypres, which they would tackle twice throughout the day. Despite climbs, cobbles and wind, the race stayed largely as one, as the bunch wound their way through the Flanders fields. Passing the many military cemeteries, they raced onto the gravel plug streets, given the name British soldiers gave one of the local villages over 100 years ago. Throughout the race, the pace remained exceptionally high, and even on the gravel roads, no significant break was able to escape the peloton as it headed back towards the challenging hills for a final visit. Eventually, Ale Cipollini managed to make 2 attacks stick, even if they were short-lived. First, Anna Trevisi escaped, but despite her effort, she was unable to build any significant lead. Then, when she was caught, Romy Kasper built a decent advantage, the German leading over the second ascent of the Bannerberg. She was finally caught immediately before the last climb of the Kemmelberg and dropped back through an exceptionally aggressive bunch. Here, it was UCI Women's World Tour leader Marta Bastianelli of Team Virtue Cycling who attacked, trying to draw the sting out of her fellow sprinters' legs. Kasia Niewiadoma, though, marked her closely, and when they reached the flatter 30-kilometre run-in to the finish in Wevelgem, the race was back together. Those closing kilometres brought a flurry of attacks, notably from the leader of the UCI Women's World Tour Young Rider classification, Sofia Bertizzolo, who led by some way before being joined by Portuguese Daniela Reis of Dolcini van Eyck. Back through the centre of Ypres, and the race was a seething mass of attacks, but a bunch sprint was inevitable. Ellen van Dijk led her Trek Segafredo team into the final 100 metres, but it was Kirsten Wild who proved the best, launching a powerful sprint no one was able to match and winning consecutive UCI Women's World Tour races ahead of Lorena Wiebes.
It was a tough one. It was a long one. I lost my rider, Lisa Brennauer, for the lead out. She punctured twice, so she hadn't the bad legs anymore. But she put me in the right position and I just had to finish. I was surprised because after the climbs it was a small group, but there was actually no team who really took the lead, and yeah, it was not up to us to do something because we were only with 3-4 riders. So yeah, I was surprised, but it was positive.
Yeah, that's really nice to feel that, and that I can sprint for the win. But I had also a bike change the last 10k, so that was a little bit a little bit nervous moment, but my teammates did a good job to bring me back and keep me in the front.
My team had done a really good job, and yes, I'm start with the sprint really late, but Kirsten is a monster in this moment, and the start is really good, and I'm really happy for the team and for me.
In third place behind Wild and Wiebes, 19-year-old Letizia Paternoster bagged her first UCI Women's World Tour podium after finishing 10th in Wevelgem last year. Finishing 4th, Marta Bastianelli retains the lead of the UCI Women's World Tour, but as the only rider with 2 wins, Wild is hot on her heels. With successive second places, 20-year-old Dutch rider Wiebes will wear the Santini blue jersey as the leader of the UCI Women's World Tour Young Rider competition.